We try to remove the leaves from the bottom of the tomato stems to also allow light to return to the cultivation bed.
Sure.
What do we do during this period, this season, besides harvesting? There are still tomato plants, and there is still a good production of tomatoes, but we will start to prepare the soil for the next vegetable, particularly here on this bed of spinach. This is interplanting. The light needs to reach the soil again. Since the tomato is a climber, we let the tomato stem, which has been completely stripped of leaves, grow. At ground level, we reach a spot where there are flowers and tomatoes that are ripening again. There we go. We pull all of that up along the string we used to trellis the tomato plant, almost as if it were a young tomato plant, actually. And that allows for increased productivity of the tomato plant. Once I've removed the leaves from the tomatoes, the sun can reach the soil again, and then I sow spinach. And this is called interplanting, and this is what creates productivity per square meter in a garden that uses the principles of permaculture and ecoculture. It's really interplanting. We don't do companion planting. Actually, yes, the spinach is associated with the tomatoes, but the tomatoes are at the end of their growing season, and it's the beginning of another, the spinach. On the cultivation bed with the tomatoes, at first I planted a smile of mizuna or mesclun. I made 3 harvests that I put in my first baskets of April. Then, once I harvested all my mesclun, I transplanted the tomatoes, basil, or parsley, spring onions, and lettuce. And cabbage, so that makes 6. And now we come to the tomatoes. Well, we have harvested a lot of tomatoes. We have pruned and removed the leaves, and the light can reach again. And now we are sowing our spinach. So this is the 7th crop. The mistakes I made as a beginner were being completely caught up with time and sowing my spinach way too late. Here in my system, I decided not to do winter farming. I stopped sales at the end of November and resumed them at the beginning of April. If I sow interplanting of spinach too late, spinach leaves arrive too late to sell. Well, after all, it's for my own consumption, so it's fine. But that's just it. It's always being a bit caught off guard because there's an enormous amount of work, seeing time fly by and not having taken enough time for the spinach sowing,